Hello everybody, my name is Christian Quick and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about a very basic block format, Minecraft format, and it is going to be item change block. And so that is anytime we have an item, click on a block, we want it to change into whatever we want. And we can set that. First, let's make something called a sand tiller, because I want to, the idea is we're going to use this in a future video in which we are going to till sand. So sand tiller, and we're not going to make the sand farm block yet. We just want the item and make sure that it's working before we implement it. And that's just what this is, because this will have many implementations and uses depending on how you feel like using it. So for the sand tiller, we are going to need to make a class for it. So we're going to need item Java class sand tiller, and then you can call it whatever you want. Let's bring up the hoe item, and then we are going to copy this entire class from the extends sand tiller, and then we are going to have to get rid of some things that we don't need. So coming from the bottom, we have this create, till, and drop action. I believe this is when you take a hoe and you take some dirt. It'll obviously turn the dirt into farmland, but I think it'll also drop the hanging roots. But that's not exactly what we're doing for. So we're going to take this hanging roots thing, and we're going to go all the way up to, we're going to break it to where the comma is, and then I would just have to add two parentheses and a semicolon, and after that, your tilling actions are done. You aren't going to need these two methods, so that'll help compress your code. At the top, you're going to notice that if we go into, so let's go into mod items, and then we need to add the sand tiller, and it's going to say there's a problem. What? That's not the problem I was expecting. Huh. Um, it should be, oh, because if I call this sand tiller, so now it says that now that there's a problem. If I come into here, there it is. It wants you to have tool material, initial, float for your settings and stuff. And we don't need to make tool material and all that fancy stuff. Because if we look in here, it's, there's all this. And let's make this item. And now it's going to say, okay, now here is your problem. It's down here, and that is right. We just simply need this as a basic item to just be settings, and then we just need this to hold settings. And now, suddenly, it's all done. When it comes down to use on block, if your item has a durability, this is how much it's going to take. So right now, if you had 10 durability, you could use this 10 times. If I set this to 2, you could use it 5 times. If I put this to 5, you could use it 2 times. Things like that. It's really set to whatever your durability is, but we're not dealing with durabilities yet. We'll get to that when we get to actual like tool materials, like it was saying, but we're not doing that. We just want an item that you can infinitely change as many blocks as long as you click it. Now here is the really cool part. So Minecraft is pointing at our block, and now we can point, because it's in our block, we can now point it directly at Minecraft's or ours, because the block is in our hands. And with that in mind, we can take blocks.grass and we can change it into farmland with this block. But what I want to do is I want to take blocks.sand, and then I want to turn it into blocks.farmland. You can turn this into blocks.diamond block and it will work, but for now, let's just for the sake of argument, we'll do blocks.farmland, and then we will hit play. And then let's go in the world and make sure that our tiller is working. It shouldn't have a texture. That's fine. We can add one in a moment. Let's just make sure that it's tilling sand properly. Alright, here we are in the world, and I need to do /give at s sand. Oh, I'd have to do hmh3 sand tiller. And we got ourselves the item. Like I said, it's not going to have a texture or anything like that, But if I click on sand, you can see that it is turning into farmland just as I pleased. Let's try and get a few other examples to try and increase your creative abilities. So the idea is I could have this one sand tiller item just till sand, or I could have it do multiple things. So how would I have it do multiple things? So we would go 1, 2, 3. So remember how we put this at the end? I would put a little comma here, take over, get that out of the way. Go over where it says blocks, hit enter, and now hit enter right here. So now you basically have this. This is the code that's going to constantly be repeated. So whatever you feel like changing, just hit Control D as many times as you want. So here we have 5 examples, and when you're done, just go back here and then just backspace until it's all done. Now we have all these items, and let's make some examples. So for TNT, we can actually change this into mod blocks, and then we could do mod, not mod, it's called boom block. So now there's that. We could turn regular dirt, and then we could just turn it into a diamond block, because dirt to diamonds have just been around like forever as an idea. We got farmland, and let's turn farmland into dirt. So this is like a reverse. And man, I don't know if this last one's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it anyways. I'm gonna see if I can turn a nether portal into an end portal. Is it possible? I have no idea. Will it crush the game? I don't know. Let's find out and test all of these. Alright, and here we are back in the world. So we got TNT. We're going to click on it with our sand tiller, and you can see it definitely got that yellowish tinge, so it turned into boom block. When it comes to farmland, we said let's turn this into dirt, and then if we have dirt and we click on it again, it turns into diamond block. And the last one, this one I'm actually curious about because I have no idea. And if we click on it, no, it actually doesn't work. I can click on the obsidian probably, but it won't let me click on this. So test it, do whatever you feel, but this is now the block that will basically let you change any block into any block. So let's start getting on to the specifics of the item to just kind of match what I want. Let's do like the texture specifics and stuff. Alright, well, first things first, we're going to go in our data gen, model provider, and then for the items, we're going to Control D, and then we're going to look for the sand tiller. It's going to be a generated item, and that takes care of the model, and all we need to do is make a texture. Alright, so in this video we are working on the first block for block format, and that is because this is also the first video that's going to come into 2 parts. The next video, because it's Valentine's Day, I want to make a bush crop. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to make the sandtail block after, which would be on the 15th. So kind of stay tuned, keep them with that, and then that should be everything I'm going to say. So let's get back into the video. Alright, so now we have these sand tiller. So the other thing that I tend to always forget is the lang file. So once you know that your data gen is in and you have your lang file set, remember to run the data gen once and then run the client. Here we are back in the Minecraft game, and here we can tell that we have a fully functional sand tiller. I couldn't tell you what that is. So here, it doesn't look like it is holding our in our hand properly, so we might want to make this a handheld. But other than that, I would say that this item is perfect. It works and functions perfectly fine, and I can't wait to start getting to start tilling some stuff. I'm gonna keep this stuff in the game, so if any of you guys want to keep the examples, like for anyone who like keeps up on like the GitHub and stuff like that, you'll be able to like copy and paste and stuff like that. So anyways, that is going to be all from this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and without further ado,